At 12:50 a.m. on August 9, 2013, a man named Brandon Lawson dialed 911 from a dark stretch of highway in rural Texas. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't calm either. His voice trembled. He told the dispatcher someone was chasing him, that he was hiding, that he needed help. Then the call ended. Brandon Lawson was never seen alive again. Brandon Lawson was a 26-year-old father of 4. He lived in San Angelo, Texas, a quiet city surrounded by oil fields, ranch land, and miles of open terrain. He worked hard. He loved his children deeply, and in the months before his disappearance, his life had begun to unravel. Brandon struggled with substance use, not recreational, not casual. Methamphetamine had begun to take control of his life. Those closest to him later said Brandon had been paranoid in the days leading up to August 9th. He believed people were following him, watching him. Still, no one imagined he would vanish without a trace. On the night Brandon disappeared, he argued with his girlfriend, Ladessa. The argument escalated. Brandon stormed out of the house. He got into his truck. At some point after midnight, Brandon called his brother Kyle. Kyle could hear panic in his voice. Brandon said he had run out of gas on Highway 277 near Bronte, Texas, over 30 miles from home. Kyle told him to stay put. Help was on the way, but Brandon didn't stay. Kyle drove toward Brandon's location. When he arrived, Brandon's truck was there, but Brandon was not. The truck was parked on the shoulder of the highway. The doors were open. The engine was off. Kyle shouted Brandon's name into the darkness. No answer. Then Kyle made a discovery that still chills investigators. Brandon's phone rang nearby, unanswered, lying in the grass. That's when Kyle realized something was deeply wrong. Police later recovered the audio from Brandon's 911 call. What they heard raised more questions than answers. Brandon said, "Yes, I'm in the middle of a field. I ran out of gas. There's a guy chasing me. He's right here." The dispatcher asked where he was. Brandon replied with confusion, fragmented sentences, disorientation. At one point, he whispered. At another, he sounded like he was hiding. Some listeners believe Brandon said, "I'm bleeding." Others hear, "They're chasing me." The audio is unclear and terrifying. Law enforcement searched the area immediately. Dogs were brought in. Helicopters scanned the land. But the terrain was brutal. Oil fields, mesquite brush, deep ditches, snake-infested ravines. The dogs lost Brandon's scent near a fence line. Then nothing. No blood. No clothing. No sign of a struggle. Just silence. As days turned into weeks, theories flooded in. Investigators suggested Brandon was hallucinating, that no one was chasing him, that fear drove him into the wilderness. But then came the question, if Brandon was hallucinating, why was his phone found far from the truck? And why did the dogs track his scent across the road? Some believe Brandon encountered someone dangerous, an oil worker, a local resident, someone who didn't want to be seen. But no evidence supported this. No witnesses, no suspects. The land around Highway 277 is unforgiving. A fall into a ravine, exposure, wildlife. Yet despite extensive searches, nothing was found. For years, Brandon's family never stopped searching. His children grew up without answers. His brother replayed that night endlessly. His girlfriend carried guilt, wondering if that argument pushed Brandon into danger. For nearly a decade, Brandon Lawson was classified as a missing person. Until 2022. In January 2022, human remains were discovered less than 1 mile from where Brandon's truck was found. DNA testing confirmed the identity. The remains belonged to Brandon Lawson. No cause of death could be determined. No evidence of violence. No closure. Officially, the case was closed. But for many, the mystery remains. What made Brandon so afraid that night? Who or what did he believe was chasing him? Why did help arrive too late? And how did his body remain undiscovered for nearly 9 years? So close to where he vanished. Some believe the 911 call reveals more than panic. Others believe it shows the devastating effects of addiction. Maybe both are true. Brandon Lawson didn't just disappear. He was lost. Mentally, emotionally, physically. In a moment where help almost arrived. The story of Brandon Lawson is not just about mystery. It's about addiction, fear, and the thin line between reality and perception. A single phone call, a dark highway, a life that slipped away while help was listening, but couldn't reach him in time. Some cases are solved by evidence. Others remain unsolved in the human heart. Thank you for watching Silent Evidence, True Crime Exposed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time for another chilling true story.